Would you look at the arse on that one? He must work out. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Montoya. We finally have Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay out. It has been excruciating waiting for them to release this. Those of you that have followed the project announced back in 2012, hey, being a Star Citizen backer, I am no stranger to having patience and waiting. But what killed me was that in E3 back in June, they showed this to a bunch of guys like Angry Joe, Yongye, some big YouTubers, and people in the media. They got to see this, and they came out of it, and everyone said their mind is blown. It looks amazing. So I couldn't wait until they finally released it, and they did this past week. Here it is. And you know what? It is as they said. Now, keep in mind, because this game is coming out on consoles, I don't expect breakthrough amazing graphics. And you can see it is pretty flat. Look, textures are nice, lighting is good, but it's nothing mind-blowing that is pushing next generation stuff. I think it looks beautiful. But again, I think consoles are keeping PC gamers back. This could have been so much nicer had they been allowed to simply make it for the top-end PC systems. But naturally, you can't. That's fine. We can live with it. The thing is, with CD Projekt Red, I don't need the most visually beautiful game. I want their storyline. I want their storytelling. There's a lot to talk about in this game. Let's just pause it right here. And actually, this is a good place to start, because you walk into this room and immediately your eyes are drawn to the empty spots on the wall. Yes, thank you, because I see there are swords, all these machetes. I hope they're swords. Probably one-handed. Two-handed would be nice. And this big empty spot right over there looks like it probably will be some kind of EMP gun. I am excited right from the get-go, because there are empty spots in the wall. This tells you something is going to go in there. Something is going to be very, very cool. You have probably watched this demo several times like I have. I think this is about my third or fourth watch, and every time I watch it, I pick out something new that is impressive. For example, well, we saw this the first time. Let's stop the jacket right there. Immediately we see how this game is going to work in that. Here are the stats, and it shows you the jacket right away. It has your physical resistance, thermal resistance, EMP resistance, and chemical resistance all balanced out. No doubt you'll be able to buy clothing later down the line that will specify, or you can improve certain stats on your clothing. I love it. I love it already. I love everything about it. And let's actually jump over to... Where is this screen? There it is. All right. Let's jump over to the character creation screen. They're going to show us in a second anyway, but I've screenshot it and I've paused it here because I want to take a closer look at it. First of all, the characters are beautiful. This is one good-looking lady, although I do tend to play the male characters. Wide selection of eyes, nose, mouth, jaw, ears, skin tone. Everything is customizable in there. But more interesting was this screen right here, which comes through in the demo in a sec. And as we see, this is very reminiscent of something like Fallout, where they'll give you a bunch of perk points, except they're not called perks here, just points available, 0. But adding this up, this will be 25. And you get to assign them to the certain characteristics you would like. Strength, being obvious, that's for melee combat, or the mantis blades, which you'll see she has in her forearms at the end of the demo itself. Constitution, which I'm guessing is going to be health. Intelligence, that's going to be for hacking, the speed at which and the speed at level at which you can hack things. Reflexes, changing weapons, reloading weapons, the speed at which you do that. Tech, there'll be the limitation to how much advanced tech you can put in. At level 2, there's only a certain level of technology you can put into your eye socket, wherever it is at that point. The higher your tech, the more advanced implants you can get. And coolness, that is most likely going to be the same as charisma in Fallout. So coolness is something you probably build up as you go further in the game. The next screen here is something we see later in the game, and level 2, obviously it's what level you're at. Street cred. That is most likely something you'll have to build up, and the more street cred you have by doing certain jobs, this is essentially, okay, it's XP. This is what XP is in Fallout. The higher your street cred, the higher level enemies and the higher level mission givers you get access to. Everything else there is pretty self-explanatory. Physical, thermal, EMP, chemical, melee, cool, range. Okay, I am so going for a full-on melee character right out the gates with that cool sword they showed. That well, didn't show the sword, but very cool weapons, and everything they showed there is pretty impressive. Let's just jump back into that. The demo itself, all right, let's be fair. I think for the engine they're using, this is pretty impressive. Nice reflections, good textures. It does look kind of smooth and flat in places, but again, keep in mind, this is all going to go on console too. So your PS4 and your Xbox needs to be able to run this, which I strongly feel is a limiting factor. But let's jump forward to where you see all the AI in the street. And this is a part which really blew a lot of people away, because here we have NPCs going around their normal daily activities. They're going to shops, they're walking from one spot to another, they're walking in different directions, different speeds. This is what makes the city feel alive. This is what Night City is. And here's the part coming up right now, which blew everyone away, and that there are people... Now, okay, let's stop here, pause. There's nothing new about AI walking around. Skyrim had this, Oblivion had this. Here's my question. Are we limited to how much AI are going about the business because of consoles? How much can consoles carry? I know that the new upper-end PCs can handle this stuff, but I would love to see what we're seeing here in the actual game itself. I hope they don't scale it back, because this is just amazing. I mean, there's a guy kind of walking funny over there. Everyone's got the different walks. They're walking different directions. And if you give it a second, they're going to go to the crosswalk on the other side. Everyone stops, and then when the crosswalk turns green, or the light is green, they all walk across. It's great seeing such small details. I mean, that's not really new in gaming, but these kind of small details, see, it's red. They're going to stop and keep on walking when it changes. The city itself looks beautiful. Obviously, draw distance will be limited by the haze in the background there, but the city looks alive. It looks open, and I can't wait to get in there and explore. Everyone's stopped. They're waiting for the light to turn green. Small details is what makes the world complete. So I'm not going to run through the whole video with you. I'm sure you've seen it, but I do want to watch it again and pick out some interesting parts to elaborate upon. With that, let's leave it here, and I want to hear your initial thoughts about Cyberpunk so far. If you have read the books or if you've played the game, let me know what I've seen here, which I may have missed, because this is my first experience with anything Cyberpunk at all. But give me your thoughts. What's your first impressions? And will you be pre-ordering it, as I will? You know the drill. Thumbs up, comments below. I'll see you in the next one.